So now we have her up in the air. I can show you what the underside of the motor looks like inside the motor of a 235 6-cylinder. Now this is not the original motor to the truck. The original motor is gone. It was a 216, but it was worn out. And now they have this 235 in here, which is really nice, much better motor than the 216. Because if you look at the crank, this is your crankshaft, these are your connecting rods. On the 216, the connecting rods had a little scoop right here, and it would dip into the oil and force the oil into the bearings. Plus, they were a Babbitt bearing. In other words, you made the bearings. This, as a 235, is a fully internal oil engine. It's a pressurized oiling system throughout. So these are oiled by the oil pump. Big difference, makes a huge difference in the longevity of the motor, especially at high RPMs. Because what would happen is the little scoops would, as this crankshaft is turning, the faster it's turning, the more wind it makes. The less time the oil has to get back together, to get in there. So what happens is the scoops start starving for oil, and it starves your bottom end for oil. So an internally pressurized oiling system is a much better way to go. And right there is your oil pump. This is your oil pump pickup tube right here, and you can see it's really dirty. So we're going to take it down, we're going to clean it all out, make sure it's all nice. Then if you look up here, you can see the camshaft. That's your camshaft right there. And you can see one of the lobes right there. It's a bit worn out. Also, I don't particularly care for the way the lifters are riding on the cam, but it's not going to be driven a ton. It's going to be driven, but not a lot of miles are going to be put on every year. Probably a few hundred miles per year on this. So I'm not as worried about it as a car that would be driven a lot more. You can see on this lobe here, the lifter is only riding on the very edge here. And the same thing on this lobe. It's riding mainly on this edge over here, on the lowest point of the lobe. Same thing if we go back here. You can see the same thing happening on the lobe right here. And you can also see it has some pitting going on. Same thing with this lobe here. We have some pitting going on. So sooner or later, it's going to be a problem on this. But for now, it's running, it's working. We have lift on all of the rockers, so we should be okay. And then this is your dipstick. Just had to show you that, how it hangs in there. And then this is the line, the internal line for the pump. This sends the oil up through here and up into the motor. And then there's an external line going right over here. And that will take your oil into your filter way up there. Then we have our oil pressure line going right over there. So yeah, it's a cool little motor. I like these motors. They're good motors, and I figured I'd give you a shot of the inside of a motor. This motor is probably a I believe we run the numbers, it was a 1953 motor. So it's not an original, but like I said, it is a better motor than the 216. So there you go, guys. I will talk to you real soon. Have fun. Okay, bye.